How you doing? On my screen when I go live, it says you're live. So I really don't want to be touching my face too much. Not not a good look. Uh, Welcome to the live stream. I'm Tim Carter. This is Ask the Builder, and pretty exciting day for me today. I finished my latest book. I don't know, about 10 o'clock this morning, and then I spent about 3 or 4 hours going over it with a fine tooth comb and trying to look for errors. And I told a friend of mine, hi, Lorraine. I told Will, who's a moderator here, that authors make the worst copy editors. I mean, you can read your stuff 5 times and there's a mistake there and you just don't see it. So anyway, it's a really good book. Over the years, I say that and I sound pretentious. What I mean by it being a good book is there's no other book like this out there. I look, it's not been written. I'm the only one who's written it. I hope it helps millions of people because I know millions of people suffer from it. I've done countless phone consults where I have solved sewer gas problems for people. And for many people, it drives them nuts. I mean, it drives them crazy. And in fact, I did about a year and a half ago, I did a one-day consult. A man hired me who lives in a suburb just north, I don't know, I guess west northwest of Boston to come down and solve a sewer gas problem. I was there when the plumber came and we did a smoke test and the plumber replaced 2 gaskets and I was there to be the inspector to make sure everything went okay. And his wife, this man's wife, had gotten seriously ill, and none of the doctors could figure out what was wrong. And when he originally had called me on the phone, I said, "Well, I'm sure I know what it is. Your wife's being poisoned by the sewer gas." And as soon as we fixed the gas within a couple of days, she felt great again. It's really rewarding. Uh, yeah, exactly, Lorene. And Will's looking at it now. Uh, Will is kind of I kind of conscripted him into checking the book, but I told him if he didn't want to do it, he didn't have to. If you want to look at it, just let me know. I'm happy to send you a copy. It's really short. It's only, I mean, including the cover page and table of contents and stuff, it's only like 27 pages long. It's not very much. I mean, you can read the book start to finish. If you're just reading it, but not carefully reading it, you could read it probably in 15 minutes. So it's really simple. Anyway, crutchword. So here's the cool thing about it. The sewer gas ebook, I structured the ebook the way that I've done the phone calls all these years. And when I have someone on the phone, I kind of go down this question and answer tree. And depending on how they answer the question, it depends on where we go. It's like we come to a fork in the road. And I do that exact same thing in the ebook to help you solve your sewer gas problem. And the good news is most of the time, you can solve the problem yourself. I mean, you don't have to bring in a plumber at $100 an hour and spend 500 or $1,000. In many cases, people just don't realize that a trap is dried out and it just takes a pitcher of water and the problem's solved. But they don't. I've had so many people who have sewer gas problems, and one of my first questions is there a bathroom or is there a bathroom in the house that you don't use? Oh yeah, we've got a bathroom up in the kids' room. Upstairs, our kids went off to college. No one's been in that bathroom for a year and a half. Oh, really? Do you smell the gas upstairs? Oh, yeah, we smell it a lot up there. Oh, really? So, I mean, you can see what I mean. In other words, people, and the first 2 chapters of the book, I explain how it all works so that you understand how to go look for the sewer gas problem. And that's what I think is pretty cool about the book, is the first 2 chapters, I explain how plumbing systems work. And and how vacuums are created and how air gets into the system. And it was a fun book to write. Got some cool photos in it, so you might like it. Um, Steve, oh, Will's here. I was just looking at the wrench. I didn't look at the name. Uh, for today. Oh, no. Well, I did. Here's the thing, Will. I launched. I'm impatient. I had to launch it. I had to put it up in the shopping cart. And just as Lorene has said, if you have found a couple of tiny little errors, no problem. I can make the corrections this weekend. I can upload a new copy to my shopping cart, and no one's the wiser. So everything. I already fixed the one little error that you found. So that was a really good one. I don't know how I missed that one. Anyway, so yeah, whatever you can do to work on it, that'd be great. Bingo. Yeah. So all that in your brother's case, all that he's got to do is have somebody just run the water in the sink, run the water in the tub, flush the toilet every now and then, and not going to have an issue. So anyway, it was a fun book to do. Now I'm already started on my second project, and I'm going to actually try to get some help from my newsletter subscribers, and you can help too if you want. I would love to hear from you. So my newest project, and this is even going to be, it's going to be more fun than the sewer gas ebook. And I bought quite a few URLs surrounding it, but it's new home building hacks. And what I mean by that is, if you've ever built new, or even if you bought an existing home, like Lorene and her husband bought a home not too long ago, and they moved into this house. And as you get comfortable in the house, all of a sudden you go, gosh, I sure wish the house had this, or wish it had that, and then you can always add it. But what happens if you were given a magic wand and you're getting ready to plan your new home, and here you've got this giant list of things that you should be considering and doing? That's what this ebook is about. So it's a really cool book. Here's an example. Okay, the house is only 15 years old. So here's a really good example of what's going to be in the new home building hacks book. Have you ever? This is a rhetorical question. Who has not been involved in a power outage? That was in the night. So here you are, the power's out. Lights are out. You're wandering around the house with a flipping flashlight. It's just horrible. It's really depressing. It can be really depressing not to have light. I mean, we're so used to having a light over our head. Here in New England, I have a standby generator, comes on automatically if the power goes out, but it's not so big that it can power the entire house. All right. And that's a problem with the standby generators. I mean, you can get one if you want. You can get one that's, 100,000 watts, but you're going to have a diesel engine, probably cost you $5-10 an hour to operate, and fuel probably costs $50,000 to put in, whatever. Well, imagine this. So even if you have that, even I have the standby generator, I can't have all the lights in my house work. Well, guess what I did at my daughter's house? And it didn't cost any extra money. It cost zero. But most electricians, they don't even think about this. They just look at you and blink their eyes like this. Here's all I did at my daughter's house. Here's what you need to know. Here's how an electrician normally wires a house. So let's just talk about the second floor, where maybe there's 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. He may take up into that space, not counting the electric outlets in the in the bathrooms, where you have to have, the code says you have to have a separate dedicated circuit in the bathroom. Forget about that. But I'm talking about all the outlets on the walls, in the bedrooms and in the hallway. He'll maybe take 3 circuits up there, and he'll run 1 circuit down the front of the house, 1 down the middle, 1 down the back. And, and he's just daisy chaining through different outlets. And every now and then he'll run a hot wire up to a switch to control the overhead light. The odds of you putting that bedroom or those bedrooms on the standby generator are 1 in 100. You're not going to do it. You only put the necessary things on it. what we did at my daughter's house is I took and put all of the lights in her house, every single light, on just 4 circuits. There were 2 lighting circuits downstairs, 2 upstairs, and actually we created another one for the future in the attic. And now with today's LED lights, the LED light bulbs that burn very little wattage, they consume very little power. The draw is hardly anything. And of course, in a power outage, you're not necessarily going to go around the house and turn all your lights on. But I warned my daughter, I said, here's what's going to happen. If there's a power outage or when there's a power outage and it's at nighttime, people are going to look at your house and going to see all the lights on. And they're probably going to come to your door and say, how is it that you have power and we don't? You know, because everybody else's house is going to be dark. All right. So that's just like one of the little things, but luckily it's one of the tips in the book that like cost nothing. And that's how I'm actually going to organize the, it's going to be one of the things in each tip is I'll have like a symbol, like dollar signs, like 0 or like $1 sign, maybe $2 signs or $3 signs as to what it might cost to incorporate this hack into your home. So it's going to be a fun project, but I'm interested in getting ideas from you. And the way to do it is you're going to have to be part of my newsletter because you're going to have to fill out a form on my website where you submit your idea. I'm going to give you the option of whether you want to be named in the book that it came from you. The idea was yours. And if I do use your idea, I'm going to give you a copy of the ebook for free. So anyway, you just need to be on my newsletter. So anyway, let me get caught up. Jan, we had an intermittent sewer gas issue. And then when the line was smoked, it turned out to be the rubber seal around the grinder pump. Yeah, exactly. There you go. The smoke tests are great, but so I got a question, Jan, for you if you're still here. How long ago did you do the smoke test, and what did it cost you? Curious. I already have a number in my head. You know, I don't even know where you live. It'll make a little bit of a difference. Hey, Rocco, how you doing? The smoke test, they're very good. They work really well. Can be costly. You don't even have to use the smoke test. If you go through what I show you in the book, it just 80% of the time, 90% of the time, you'll figure it out on your own, saving you hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Anyway, so if you have any questions about anything else with your home, doesn't matter. Doesn't have to be about sewer gas. It can be about anything. Just go ahead and ask it. I really don't care. It can be about ceramic tile. Oh, I'll give you an update. While you're typing your question, I'll give you an update on yesterday. At the beginning of yesterday's live stream, if you go back and look at it, I was talking about how to clean a toilet, and there was a new viewer, very, very nice guy, very respectful. His name was John, and he mentioned how he used a pumice stone, to clean the toilet, and I immediately like honed in on that and said, whoa, bad, because if indeed it truly was pumice, it could be a mislabeled product, all right? But you just never ever want to use abrasives on china, on glazed pottery. You just don't want to do it because you're going to scratch it. All right. So we kind of got in. I felt it was getting a little contentious, and he backed off. And then what was really interesting is overnight he came back and left a comment, a very long comment, and because I had challenged him. And that's where I think I probably kind of overstepped. I was getting a little defensive because, he was basically kind of challenging me, like what the advice I was giving wasn't necessarily right, but I knew it was right, but I had a really hard time verbalizing it. And I had challenged him. I said, well, if you don't think it scratched your toilet, I told him yesterday, I said, go take this pumice stone out and put it on the windshield of your car. And I said, then I know I said at some point, I said, really, don't do that. Don't, because you're going to mess up your windshield. So to make a long story short, if you go back and read his comment, he took an old glass and like an old drinking glass, a clear drinking glass, and he put the pumice stone on it, and sure enough, it scratched it. And then he said in the comment that he could not find any information about the hardness of ceramic glazes. So I did a little research this morning, and it's I found this PDF file that I'm going to share with you. I have not I have not read the whole paper. It's a very short paper. Well, first of all, here's the link once again to the sewer gas ebook. But here is a PDF file about hardness, where it's a scientific paper about the hardness of glazes on pottery, or ceramic tile or toilets. It's all basically the same, and they're not as hard. Um, the pumice stone's harder, and it's going to scratch it. So anyway, all right, I'll get caught up here on the comments. All right, here we go. Jan says, believe it or not, the city came out and did it. Are you kidding me? Wow. That's an amazing service, Jan. Wow, free of charge. Good for you. Josh is here. Hi, Josh. I heard of using, yes, that's in the ebook. Well, so mineral oil does evaporate, Josh, but it does it at a much slower rate than water does. The other thing you can do, and I have it in the book, you can put in the test plugs that we plumbers use. But here's the danger of using a test plug in a floor drain, is that if you get a flood, you're screwed, because now you've got your drain plugged up. So there's the yin and the yang, So you say, could you use that? Could you use, I imagine you're saying mineral oil. Could you use mineral oil in bath drains? Yes, you can. Absolutely. You can try it. Eric, is there a hack to protect the toilet from a regular snake? Yes. Take the toilet off. If you're going to rot out the toilet line, just take the toilet off. It only takes a few minutes. I mean, if you go here, here's why you need to take the toilet off. This is really, this is why I love doing, the live stream. So I am going to find this video that you need to watch. You need to watch this video. Here we go. This is a funny video that you need to watch of mine. This video could be, oh my gosh, I'm trying to think how old this video would be. Oh yeah. So this video, the reason you got to go watch this video is go look at my hair. That tells you how old the video is. All right. So, Eric, what you're going to learn in this video, you're going to see, you probably don't understand the colon in a regular toilet, what the colon is. And you're trying to get this flipping snake to go through the colon. It's like, it's like the colon of the toilet looks like a Formula One racetrack. That's all I can tell you, with all the turns and, so anyway, just take the toilet off and put the snake right down the 3-inch pipe. But go watch that video if you want to laugh. Rocco says, I'm currently running a short-term radon test. That could be a live chat. Yes, it could be. Radon's a good topic too. You've got 2 good topics now, Rocco. You're welcome, Eric. That's why I'm here. So, and because those snakes just tear up the toilets, and there's just so much resistance going through the colon. I mean, if the clog is in the toilet, well, then you have to go through the toilet. I get it, but if you're trying to get the snake down into the drain pipe, oh my gosh. And you have to realize that often right past the 90 underneath the toilet flange, it goes to a T, and now it's got another sharp bend to make. I mean, so you're asking a lot. All right, here we go. Lorene says, our house also failed the radon test, so they had to put a system in. Yeah, I put a system in my daughter's new home. So we put in a system beforehand, and all it is just a perforated drain pipe down under the slab of the crawl space, surrounds the whole crawl space. The crawl space was filled with really angular gravel, very porous. I mean, big voids in it. And then we covered that with an ASTM 1745 vapor barrier and then poured the slab over that. And then that pipe, there was that whole pipe was all interconnected, and then there was a T and a vertical pipe came off of it, and that vertical pipe runs all the way up to the roof. And it's just like a plumbing vent pipe. And every time the wind blows, which is like constantly up at my daughter's home, I mean, constantly, it's constantly sucking air out of it's constantly sucking any radon out. So cheap to put in. You don't need to have a fan. You don't need any of that. But it's really, really tough to do a radon system after the fact. Rocco says our kids flushed a Dixie cup. Oh my gosh. Kids are fascinated with toilets. I mean, think about it. I mean, they actually are magical when you think about it, a toilet. I mean, it gets rid of really nasty stuff. It just disappears. I mean, it is. It's magic. That's what magicians do, close-up magicians. You know, and even guys who do bigger acts, they make things disappear. All right. So kids can just drop stuff. I mean, army men, Lego toys. Oh my gosh. You know, it's funny. I don't remember doing that as a kid at my house. I don't remember doing it. Maybe I did. I'll never know. My mom and dad, or maybe when I get up to heaven, I'll ask my mom and dad. I don't know if they'll remember or not. You know, who knows? Oh, Lorene, absolutely. It's better to install the radon system when the house is being built. Absolutely. I mean, just number one, it's cheap. And number two, like I said, if you do it the way that I've done it, I've designed them. You don't need any electricity. You don't need a fan. You don't need any of that. It just, because this is, once again, here I'm doing it again. Remember, you all of us took high school physics, right? And some of us paid attention and some of us didn't. And I didn't pay attention all the time. But there was don't you remember the class about the Venturi effect? In other words, when you, here we go. Remember this pipe from the, that I did the demonstration last week? So if I blow, okay, so this pipe is open down here. All right. So if I blow across the top of this like this, so my air is going across this pipe, it automatically creates a vacuum and air comes up the pipe and comes out, So if you've got this pipe sticking out of the roof and this pipe is connected to all the pipes under the slab, every time the wind blows, it's pulling air up through and any radon up and out. So cheap, easy to do. Good. Keep those live stream ideas flowing. I got to write the one. I got to write them down. I'm going to write them down right now so I don't forget. All right. Eric, I think we have a restriction upstream of the toilet. Upstream. No, you must mean downstream. The toilet sucks air from the room instead of the vent. No, it could be just that the shower is not vented properly. I cover that in my ebook. You might want to get it. So you might want to get the sewer gas ebook. So then you might want to, and then within the ebook, I give you a link to a video to watch that explains everything you need to know about venting plumbing fixtures. All right. So I cover that specifically in the ebook, Eric, the situation. And here's what happens. Tell me if this doesn't happen, Eric. When you flush the toilet, do you get a gurgling sound out of either the tub or the nearby sink? Do you hear this like a suction noise? Let me know. Josh, so could the radon pipe system double as a French drain? Yes, they could. Because yes, absolutely. Because you could take those pipes, Josh, run a T from the system under the footer or outside through the foundation, whatever it takes, and have it drain outside, to the lowest spot on your property or at some point where it can get water away and flow by gravity. And then absolutely, you have another T in the system that goes up through the house and out through the roof. So absolutely, it can absolutely do both things. Yes, yes. That's a great idea. I'm going to write that down. You're going to get a free copy of the hacks book. That's a great one. But you still need to fill out the form because I need to get your permission in the form. It's a long story. You need to get your permission to be able. Well, first of all, you need to. It's a long story. All right. You're going to have to let me know if you want to be credited with the idea in the book, or you can just be anonymous. But got it. Okay. All right. So, what else did I want to tell you? There's so much stuff. Oh, you might want an update on the snowstorm. It's been snowing all day. It started to snow through the night. Very kind of a light snow. Doesn't look like it's snowing much, but over the time it builds up, and before I came upstairs to do the stream was maybe let's see, it was about an hour ago, and I would say we had 6 inches on the deck. And so the low pressure system is just to the east northeast of us, so it still doesn't seem to be moving really fast. So I think it's going to continue to snow for a while, and so I'm not going out there to mess with it tonight. I have to just get up early and do it in the morning. Oh, all right. I don't have the form created. I'm going to do that after the live stream. I was supposed to build the newsletter today, but I got buried doing this ebook. So I've got to. The pressure's on. I got to get the newsletter done tomorrow before Sunday morning. So I assume, Josh, that you're on my newsletter list. If you're not, I've said it a million times here on the live stream. You need to be on my newsletter list. So if not, go sign up for the newsletter right now. It's right there on the homepage of askthebuilder.com. After you sign up, go check your email because you're going to get a confirmation email. You have to open that up. You have to click the link in it to finish the process. It's a double opt-in system so that I don't spam you. In other words, I can't just get a name. I just can't go out and buy a bunch of flippant email addresses and load them on my system. It won't work because no, we're not doing that. We're not spamming people. So you physically have to confirm the subscription. So please go sign up for the newsletter if you're not already on it. Lorena, I don't know how much snow we've had yet this year. I would not consider this year a heavy snow year. I'm gonna say I think it's average. I don't really keep track. I really don't care. I think the normal snowfall the amount for central New Hampshire is like 5 to 6 feet. I think that's the normal. But what happens is, we get snow and it compacts, and then we might get a little sun, might get a little rain. There's generally never more than 18 inches of snow on the ground. And over the past 10 days, we got a lot of warm weather and some rain, and the snow was getting pretty thin out. I mean, there's some places where a bare ground showed up, which is very unusual for February, really unusual. But after today, if you could see outside right now, one of the things I really love, I have a lot of evergreen trees. So it looks like a Norman Rockwell painting outside. You know how those paintings have all the snow humped on the branches of the evergreen trees. That's what it looks like out here. And everything is pure white. Any of the dirty snow that had accumulated, it's all now just pure. It's gorgeous, flipping gorgeous. Okay, let's see. Josh, gotcha. I'm working and listening at the same time. Yes, I've been on this. Oh, good, great. Okay, wonderful. You'll see it on Sunday. I'm actually kind of having trouble wording it. I think the forum's going to confuse some people. So if I can't get it worked out, if I don't feel comfortable with this form, it may not be announced until the following Sunday. So because I've only got one chance to get it right, and I don't want to confuse people, So, oh, okay. I'll take a photo. I'll take a photo for you, Lorena, in the morning. Absolutely. After the snow's done. But it's because the photo will look great tomorrow because we still have gray, overcast skies. It's still snowing, but tomorrow it's going to be a bluebird day. The problem is this is kind of a neat storm. It's not windy. It's not a blizzard type storm, so it's very calm. But as soon as the wind picks up, it just shakes all the snow out of the trees. So, but I've got a photo for you. I guarantee you. I'll get a photo. I'll do one after the stream just to have one in case it gets windy through the night. All right. So if you have a question about your home, doesn't matter what it is. It could be flooring question. It could be electrical question, could be plumbing, could be anything. I don't care what it is. Just go ahead and put it in the chat. I'm happy to answer it. Eric says, yes, the toilet flushes, then empties again and keeps gurgling for several minutes. It never refills. Wasn't so bad before my wife remodeled the toilet several feet further from the vent stack. Well, that could be an issue. It might require, you might have to do one of my phone consult calls, Eric, with some photos and a real rough drawing, like a before and after. And I'd be happy to try to help you on the phone. So, but I think you're going to probably have to do a consult call. Rocco wants to know, what do they use to treat the roads around there in the winter? Well, we've got great snowplow trucks. The road crews are fantastic. They live for the snow. They snow to them is like watermelon to me. All right, or cheese conies, or pecan days. So, and here's what happens: our roads get plowed no less than 3 times. So what'll happen is, like for like today, because it's such a long duration event, they've been out plowing. My road, I live on a private road. It's a mile long, but it goes out to a city road. They've plowed that road at least twice, no doubt about it. Tomorrow, after the storm, but they may wait, actually. They may wait because the forecast is no snow for quite a few more days. And so they don't burn up overtime. On Monday, the road crew will come back, and the trucks not only have a plow in the front, they have what's called a wing plow. If you don't know what a wing plow is, go onto YouTube and look at what wing plows are. So a wing plow is just what it is. It sounds like it's this wing. The plow is up normally. It's up like this in the air, and then it's on the side of the truck, and they can lower it. And so what it does, it'll plow a pathway about 6 feet wide to the side of the truck. So you can see the advantage of that, because when they've got the plow on front down and they've got the wing plow down, they can plow a pathway almost 15 feet wide. Pretty amazing. So what they do is, the first plowing that's happening now is they're just pushing the snow to the shoulder of the road and maybe a few inches beyond the edge of the pavement. On Monday, they'll come back with the plows, and they'll have the front plow up, but they'll have the wing plow down, and they will then push the snow. They'll drop the wing plow down onto the road shoulder, so that will get plowed all the way down to the gravel. But they'll push that snow 4 or 5 feet away from the roadway. And then, I don't know, 3 days later, maybe on Wednesday, they'll come back. They'll put the wheels of the truck on the shoulder of the road, and they drop the wing plow down, and they carve off the top of the snow so that they have a shelf to put the next snowstorm. They figured this all out. It's brilliant. Will says, a lot of wood ash. No wood ash. I'm never doing that again. I'm throwing that crap out. I don't care what my neighbor says. So they also use a lot of sand, and unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of this, but they're using increasing amounts of salt, and I'm not a big fan of salt. It's bad for the vehicles. It's bad for everything. I just, but I think what's happened is our whole society has become so litigious that if somebody had an accident, even though it's their fault for going too fast, they would sue the town. One of these injury lawyers would say, well, you could have used salt. My client wouldn't have broken their neck, and blah, blah, blah. I mean, so that I think that's driving that bus. That's what I think's happening. It's a liability issue. And as far as I know, the town's insurance company could mandate them to do it. But so we use sand and salt. But the first thing is really, really good plowing. I mean, good plowing. All right. Lorraine, I live in northern Wisconsin and they use sand, but in southern they use the brine beaches. Yeah, exactly. Yes, salt, bad. It's all, everything about salt is bad. Jan. I am available just about all the time for the phone consults. I try not to do them on the weekends for all the obvious reasons. I prefer to do them in the morning or early afternoon because I'm a morning person. I'm in the Eastern time zone in New Hampshire. I only charge $49 for 15 minutes. And typically one of my phone, I mean, I try to keep a rough average. On average, my phone consults, I've kept track over the years. The average savings is about $1,000, maybe $1,200. I've had certain phone consults. I've had one phone consult. I know I saved the homeowner $50,000. All right. So the people always get their money's worth. But the stunning thing is I get a lot of email. I get a lot of people come into the website. They ask me questions. They're very complex. And if they make the wrong decision, it'll cost them 5 or 10 grand. And so I tell them, I go, look, this is a really complex situation. I cannot answer it in just one sentence or two. And I said, you really should do one of my phone consults. And they come with a money back guarantee. If you don't like my answer, if you don't think I helped you, I don't care. I'll credit your flipping money back. And it's not confrontational, because what I tell everyone is, if you don't think I helped you after the call, after we hang up, you just email me. You just email me and say, I want my money back. And I'll give you your money back, and I won't hassle you. Some people are really, they don't want to do it over the phone or face to face. So I hope that helps you. So I'm happy to help you. And I have some people, I've had other people, it's really interesting. They're doing like a big project, and they, I had this one gentleman up in Chicago who was flipping a house, and he bought, I think he bought $1,000 worth of my time. And so I keep a running spreadsheet. So he would email me questions and I would answer them. And I usually would turn around and have the answer easily within 24 hours, often within an hour or two. And so I just kept track of my time. I also do I'll do a long distance consult. I have all of this in my shopping cart. For example, if somebody is pretty wealthy and they live out west, or I don't care where they live, they could live in, I've done international consults. If they want to fly me to Antigua or Aruba, I'll go. I've got a rate. It's right on my website. So, but I also have a local 1-day rate, meaning if you live within like 150 miles of me, I'll drive to your house and spend a couple hours there and look at whatever you want, and then I drive home, So anyway, it's all on the shopping cart. I'll actually give you the link right now, just so that, because people who are watching this, I'm not trying to hard sell this, but here's the category. Here's where everything is. If you want all the prices, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's see if I get caught up. Who's the young fellow in your toilet video? That's what I was talking about. You see that dishwater blonde hair? Now, if Steve were here, Steve calls me a silver top. Meg's here. So did you answer? Yes, I did answer that. And the answer, Meg, is right here. Just a second. I have to find it. Here we go. Hold on. I'm giving you the link in just a second. It's my latest flipping ebook. I'm so excited about it. I'm so excited. Yes. So, Meg, here is the answer. The answer is right there. Go get it. Go get it. All right, Jan, be great to help. I'm happy to help you out. I do a lot of the consult calls. I do quite a few during the week. It's pretty amazing. My most recent one was with Victor, and a couple of days ago. Victor's daughter lives in Brooklyn Heights in New York City, and she had a problem with her engineered floor next to a patio door that was swelling and getting wet. And to make a long story short, once he sent me photos, and I said, you need to shoot a video of the outside. He shot a video, uploaded it, so I could actually see what was going on. Then I said, oh, here's how we're going to solve the problem. We're going to take that engineered floor out, like a 5 feet, 7 feet wide. You're going to put in slate and solve the problem. And he went, oh my God, that's a great idea. So he's going to do all the work himself. So it's really, it's a lot of fun because I get to solve some of these really cool problems. All right. If you have any other questions about your home, now's the time to ask. Happy to answer any and all questions. I don't care what they are. It could be Rocco. If Rocco's still here, Rocco had a great one. I'm going to do a live stream. I actually, what's funny about that idea, Rocco, is I don't know how to say this. I seriously, and you have to believe me here. I don't think I'm that famous. All right. I'm just an ordinary person like you. I was just a builder. I just happened to see the internet. I happened to get this award. And I also, one other key thing, and I'll talk about it. When I was in my mid-30s, one day at lunch, I figured out I need to get the hell out of this business because if I didn't, I'd either be dead or crippled. All right. So I'll tell you all about that. But other than that, I'm just a regular guy. And so I just can't imagine that people are interested in that background, but you may be, and I'll tell you all about it. Hello, Silver. How you doing? Glad you're here. Silver coin collecting. I've got quite a bit of silver and some of the old coins, Ah, good. Thank you. Thank you, Will. I hope there weren't a bunch of bad ones. I'll tell you that. Oh, I did. I shared it yesterday. Well, it's funny you mentioned that. I picked up that piece of olivine right here and was looking at that. I'll go with two really close ones. I'm going to go with garnet or a sapphire. Probably sapphire. Probably that's my favorite mineral would be sapphire. And you'd be surprised. So sapphire, in your head, the storybooks have always made it out that sapphire is this very expensive gemstone. They're not that expensive. I mean, they're not outrageous. But some sapphires are, they're beautiful. And, blue happens to be my favorite color. So that's why I like sapphires. It was green. Yeah, I've got the green olivine. It's beautiful. I got a piece of it right here. So here's, the lighting's not too great. I mean, I'm sorry, it just doesn't show up. But that's olivine, very green. It's in this very mafic basalt, very fine grained basalt, because this cooled really rapidly. And the melting temperature of the basalt is different than the olivine. And this was from the Bandera volcano in New Mexico. I collected this the summer of 1972. Olivine, pretty beautiful mineral. But let's go with sapphire. Blue sapphires. Yeah, sapphire is beautiful. Oh, I'll tell you another favorite one. But here, get this. It's really not, it's kind of a funny thing. Obsidian. So obsidian, it's like a pseudo mineral. Read up on it. Read up on obsidian. And because typically you have to understand this about minerals. Minerals have a very, here's what you need to know about minerals. So minerals are obsessive compulsive. That's what you need to know. That's about the best analogy. So if you've ever been around somebody who is obsessive compulsive, typically they're very orderly, everything about them is perfect. Their house is perfect. So that's how minerals are. So they have a very perfect structure. I mean, it's mineralogists know all the angles. They're monoclinic, whatever, blah blah blah. But obsidian, obsidian, no structure. So obsidian is really interesting, and obsidian is thought to have some very magic healing powers. So a friend of mine, a very very good friend of mine, is sick. She's been sick for a long time, and I found a piece of obsidian and I gave it to her, and she wears it in a locket, around her neck, hoping to keep her alive longer. So she she's a very good friend. She was actually my first girlfriend. We kept in contact all these years, but I rarely get to see her. She's back in Cincinnati, but every now and then we chat. So, but obsidian has supposedly some very, very interesting healing powers. All right. I rock. Well, I am a geologist, so. Oh my gosh. What did I want to share with you? If you have any questions, remember, about your home, just put them in the chat. I'm happy to answer them. I don't care what they are. I don't care what questions you ask. I really don't. I don't know if you noticed, man, I got rid of the Christmas lights, got rid of the paint cans. Next week, I'm going to do kind of a major cleaning. And then a week from now, I'm going to be able to start on the new studio where we're going to, I'm going to broadcast. I don't know how long it's going to take to put together and test, but I don't know. By the end of March, I won't hear anymore. I can tell you that. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it'll look more professional. Should look really great. If Steve were here, I'd ask him, when the Korean uses the loo, is it called a royal flush? Of course it is. We already know that it is. The answer is yes. It's a royal flush. That's pretty good. Oh my gosh. What did I want to say? I'm really excited. I'm kind of repeating myself. I'm really excited about this next little book project, this new home building hacks. And it's going to be a fun little book to write. It's going to be real simple. It's going to have a lot of links in it back to columns on our website, because I've written extensively about a lot of this stuff, and also videos. But all these like little things that you would never think of. For example, I mean, here's a really silly one. If you've ever been working on a project, and you've been working on the project in your garage or right outside your garage on the apron, and you've got the sawhorses set up, and you're outside because you don't want to make a bunch of dust inside the garage. And here you've got to stretch a flipping extension cord back a mile into the garage to try to find electricity. I mean, do you realize your electrician could have easily put an electric outlet right on the outside of the house, right by the garage? Or if you have a double garage doors, he could have put the electric receptacle right in between the two garage doors. I mean, nothing about this is hard. It's just that people don't ask about it. Nothing's hard. Just little things like that. And of course, what I call holiday lighting. You should see the switching I did at my daughter's home, because I ran all the electric. So just imagine the spaghetti, the mass of spaghetti of extension cords you might have outside your home at Christmas. And now Halloween has become a pretty big holiday. So you got all these flipping extension cords going all over the place, and dangerous as can be, and whatever. Well, why? I mean, this is crazy. Why not put, I don't know, 4 or 5 outlets outside? Why not? And then why not have half of that? You can have half the outlet. It's a duplex outlet. You can have half of it on all the time, and the other half can be switched. And it could be raining outside. You don't care. You just walk over to the front door and you flip a switch, and the lights come on outside. Or you put them on a timer. I mean, you put them on one of these smart outlets. And just operate it from your smartphone, or they just come on automatically. I mean, you can program it. So all that's possible, but just little things that you just don't think of. Marcus, let's see what Mark has. Put an isolation switch inside to isolate the outdoor sockets. No one steals your power. Yes. Yeah. That's a great idea. Marcus, I think you live. I think you live over in Europe. Is that true? If so, is that a problem over there? I mean, do you have because in the cities people are really close together? Is that a problem? I mean, here in the United States, I've never even heard of anybody doing it. Now, I can't even imagine somebody doing that. Ireland, okay, but is that a problem? I mean, is that a problem in your cities where people are trying to rip off some power from somebody else's house? I think that's fascinating. Is all I'm wondering about. Ireland. That's on my bucket list. When I come over to see Steve, I'm coming up to see you, buddy. Guaranteed. My wife will be so jealous. Her family's from Ireland. So Whalen is the name. All right. What did I want to say? I just wish this dumb snow would be over with. I would like to go out and deal with it right now instead of in the morning. It's going to be a little cold in the morning. Marcus, no, I'm in the country, but maybe in the city with electric car. Yeah. Yes, spare bed man. Thank you. I would just so you know, over the years, I did a lot more of this back 15 years ago. I was doing a lot of traveling for my business. I would get invited to a lot of editors' conferences. The tool manufacturers, different product manufacturers, they might invite in 10, 20 like editors, TV personalities, whatever. So they've got a captive audience, and then they would introduce new tools and things. And, they would have your undivided attention. So I got to do a lot of travel all over the United States. And whenever I could, I would try to carve out a little extra time to do a meetup because I had the newsletter and I had so much fun on the meetups. They were just so much fun. I mean, they were great. So what I'm proposing here, I'm actually going to do one here locally. I don't know, maybe in a month. I'm going to wait until we get, some nicer weather. But I'm going to have a New Hampshire meetup. So I'll announce it here in the live stream and in my newsletter. So anybody who lives within an hour or two, we'll all have lunch together and we'll chit chat for a couple hours and have a good time. But I'm also proposing doing a parachute drop somewhere here in the United States. But that would be really tough for you to come. I mean, from Ireland. I know Steve, who lives in London, is very interested in this. But so a parachute drop is where this is planned 2-3 months ahead of time. So it gives people plenty of time. We just say, okay, in this 3 days or whatever, 4 days, I'm going to be at this resort. This is where I'm going to stay. And then if you want to come and you want to stay at the resort too, awesome. If you want to have breakfast in the morning, awesome. If you want to go golfing, awesome. If you just want to sit around the pool, awesome. If you want to play pickleball, awesome. If you want to play cards and drink umbrella drinks and just chit chat, awesome. So it's just a very relaxing, completely unstructured get together, and people can go do what they want, or they can just get together for dinner, whatever. We call them parachute drops. So I'm really seriously considering doing a parachute drop with the family that I've created here on the live stream. I know everybody couldn't make it. I know, but we're going to talk about it maybe on the next Zoom call. Yeah, I know. 2 young kids. Well, good for you. Yeah, the meetup's so much fun. I've somewhat regular. His name's Greg. He's been here on some of the live streams. He lives in Baltimore or in the Washington D.C. area, and Greg and I over the years have become friends. And at one of the meetups, it's funny. I had to testify twice in front of the U.S. Congress and the U.S. Senate about internet matters. And after both of those, I had a meetup. Well, I had scheduled a flight kind of home out of Baltimore. I don't know, whatever, like a 9:00 flight at night. I don't know. It doesn't matter. And so Greg drove me from DC up to the Baltimore airport. He was kind enough to do that instead of me taking an expensive cab. So we have a lot of fun at the meetups. They're a lot of fun. Oh, Will. Oh, so Will wants to know how big is a celebration of St. Patrick's Day in Ireland? So, Marcus, is it a big day there? I would think it'd be a really big day, you know. So anyway, um, meetups, fun, a lot of fun, a lot of fun. All right, I am going to share with you. Um, well, here's what I want to do. I want to um, I get all these crazy emails. I just here's one I just got from somebody. I don't know if he's a PR person or oh no, it's Hillsdale. Uh, it says right here, how well do you know the history of ancient Rome? Um, so this would be kind of an interesting quiz. So I'm going to share it. It's from a trusted source. All right. So this is kind of interesting. How well do you know the it's got this big long I know it's a funky oh I see. It won't work because it's too long. Never mind. Um it's got a bunch of tracking in it. So Patrick's Day is big in Belfast, but Dublin is the main event. Dublin. Okay. Um, I wish I could. Let me see if I can figure out how to get that. Uh, if I can just copy this, maybe I can do this, and it will work. I hope this will work. Yes. All right. So I hope that works. So go take that quiz. See how much you know about the history of Rome. Be very interesting. Uh, Oh, all right. Well, doesn't look like there's a lot of questions. You guys are lucky. You don't have anything wrong with your homes. That's pretty amazing when I think about it. Really pretty amazing. Um, I this spring, I've got kind of a long list of very small, like honeydew projects around the house here, like these little pesky maintenance things that I'm going to do. They might end up being quite a few good videos. I'll have to see. I don't know if I told you or not, but one of the things I'd like to do this spring, it's a really massive project, and it's basically creating a 2 or 3 video series about how to install plumbing pipes, especially, underneath a slab or in a crawl space. Most people are mystified. They have no idea how to do it. And I'm not going to put those videos up on YouTube. They're not going to be there. They're just be for sale on my website. But boy, that's a big job. And I need to hire a videographer to do it. That's the problem. I cannot just shoot those videos myself. So, oh, the fireplace project could start Monday. That's going to be exciting. Wow, I cannot wait. I cannot wait for that to happen. That's going to be great. I cannot wait. Just take, yeah, and you know what to do. Take plenty of photos. Take plenty of pictures. You'll never regret having those photos. I can tell you that. Yeah, there's always something to fix. Always little stuff. All this little stuff. Nothing really big. Always little stuff. Okay, well, if you don't have any more questions, if you don't have any questions, I think I'm going to get out of here because I don't have. I've run out of brilliant things to say. Well, I don't even know that I said anything brilliant, but I am just like my head because I worked so hard on that flipping book this morning. I just feel like my head is like empty. Here's Jan. How about a step-by-step video of installing a water heater for dummies? Well, that's a great video. That's a great idea. The I mean, my problem is I don't have I mean, my water heater is my boiler, so I don't. I mean, I'd have to fake it, So, but it's so simple. I mean, but that's a great idea. That's a great idea, Jan. Um, yeah, waiting for warmer weather before looking behind the basement wallboards. Yes, Lorraine, have a great weekend. I'm going to be busy. Busy weekend for me. Woo. Tomorrow I have to be up really early, like before dawn, and I have to be outside dealing with this flipping snow early. It's going to be cold outside. It's going to be cold, and because I have to drive my daughter an hour south. We have to leave her at 8:30. So I don't have to have everything done. I just have to have the truck cleaned off, a pathway, the drive all the way up to the street, because you don't want to drive over the snow. Will tell you that you cannot drive over the snow. Um, Even though I got 4-wheel drive, I could get in my truck right now and drive right up my driveway, but you don't want to do that. Marcus has got a good idea. So Marcus, if you're not on my newsletter list, make sure you get on the newsletter, because you're going to have a chance there to put that your ideas, in that form, you know. So Lorene says, Will, mold is so scary. I hope you don't have mold. So the good news is that mold is really easy to control. Stain solver takes care of it. You don't want to be trying to disturb it. So if you pull something back and you see molds there, you would just mix up some of my stain solver. Lorene, you have some. And it's all on the stain solver website. Just go to stainsolver.com and type mold in the search engine. All right. And you mix up some solution, put it in a little spray bottle, like an old Windex bottle. Get it wet with the solution, come back an hour later, get it wet again, and then just wipe it with a sponge. You're done. Nothing hard about it at all. Okay, good. Yeah, sign up for the newsletter. Gerald, would you recommend a more than average DIY person install new gas lines in a major remodel with 4 connections? Gerald, it's I love running black iron. I assumed you're talking black iron, right? With the threaded black iron. So I need you to confirm that. I don't think you're talking about CSST. The stainless steel corrugated stainless steel tubing, because you have to have a special tool to do that. Even with a black iron, you'll have to rent the cutting dies. I can't believe you have all that stuff, in the tripod. But because of the magic of YouTube, how lucky are you? I've never looked at it because I already know how to do it. I mean, I'm a master plumber. I've threaded so much black iron. Yeah, okay, black iron. All right. I love running black iron. I love it. So I don't need to go watch videos on YouTube about how to cut threads. But go to YouTube and look at different videos about how to cut pipe threads. And the answer is, if you look at those videos and go, well, hell, I can do that, which I already know you can. And you can do it by yourself. You don't need help. I mean, even if you're cutting 1.25 inch pipe, you just have to stop every now and then. You just have to let go a quarter turn and squirt more oil on it. All right. More cut. And you got to use the right oil. You got to get the cutting oil. Don't just use regular motor oil. Get cutting oil. It's got more sulfur in it. The hardest part of the whole job is just cutting the threads. And that's not hard. Then it just becomes a matter of, suspending the pipe with the U-shaped, the U-shaped brackets. Always use screws. Don't use nails. Use Rector Seal 5. Do not use Teflon tape. Clean the oil off the threads and then use Rector Seal 5 thread sealant. All right. So it's a real sticky, it's a really goopy, it's horrible. I mean, it's just, you get on your hands, just have a few paper towels handy. It's kind of messy, but man, it does a fantastic job. And remember, only put the thread sealant on the male threads. Never, ever, ever, ever put that stuff in the female end of a fitting. Do not do that. And the reason why is if you put it on the female threads, as you're screwing in the male thread, it's pushing the excess thread compound. It builds up and it'll clog the pipe. But that does not happen when you put it on the male threads. Then you just have to learn how tight to get it. And I'm sure there's a YouTube video that shows you how tight to generally you want the threaded, once you've threaded the pipe the right length, you want about 60 to 65% of the threads to be inside the female fitting. And then you'll have a leak-free system. So well, what do you know? Just a second. Stand by. Gerald, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. I'm trying to find here. Stand by. Here we go. I mean, you knew I would have the answer, right? I mean, you knew. I just did one for Anthony earlier this week. Stand by. Here we go, right here. Here we go. I got just what you want, Gerald. Here you go. Here you go. I'll draw it up for you. I do it all the time. I just did one for Anthony in New Jersey. I do all the calculations. I do everything right. It's always oversized. You'll never have a problem. You'll never have a starved appliance. So I'll draw your drawings for you, and you just put it in the way I draw it. Everything's going to be fine. So just go order that product if you're interested. I'll draw your gas line plan. I size all the pipes, blah, blah, blah. All that you have to do when people order that product from me is you just have to give me, I have to have a floor plan of your job. I have to see the floor plan. I need to know where the gas meter is. I need to know the size of the pipe leaving the gas meter. Hopefully it's 1.25 inches. And then I need to see where all the appliances are. And then you have to give me a list of the appliances and what their BTU input is. I have to know that. I can't do the drawing without that. So anyway, but I offer that service. Okay, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to have a busy weekend. I started to get into it. Snow detail in the morning, drive, daughter. I won't get back until 11. Then I got to do my neighbor's drive. Then I got to do the flipping newsletter. And then Sunday afternoon might be a day of rest. All right. So I'll be a little busy. So anyway, I hope you're having fun on the live stream. I know I am. Today I'm a little out of gas, just a little out of gas. I worked pretty hard this morning on that ebook. I just was bound and determined to get it done and get it off my plate. So okay, Roka, good night to you too, buddy. See you next week. Yes, I'll be here. I'll be here. It's going to be a good time. Snow is still falling just like it has been all day. If it keeps up at this rate, we'll have 10 inches or 11 inches, by the morning, guaranteed. And I'm going to go outside right now. If Lorene's still here, I am going to go take a photo. I promised her I would do it. I'll actually even shoot a little video so you'll see the snow falling. Okay, Marcus, thanks for the invite, dude. I so want to come to Ireland. I would take you up, stand there, and then maybe if you had a small project or two, maybe we could fix something there, so I could kind of pay for my room and board. I could help fix something quickly. All right. So who knows? All right. Thanks very much. I had a great time today. Thanks for being here, and thanks for all your great questions. They're always awesome. That's what feeds the live stream. Your variety of questions make me, they energize me. They're what the live stream is all about. Here's Will. The city grader just went by, so the street's getting plowed. Good for you. Marcus, the room is free. I know, but I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm happy to reciprocate. Okay, take care of those little ones, Marcus. I had 3 little ones once. Now they're big. So they get big really fast. Okay, Gerald, you know what to do. If you want me to draw your gas line, size them, do all that, just let me know. I do that, and you'll be very happy. It's going to be perfect. And if you're getting a permit, you have to have it anyway. So, all right. Thanks very much. I'm Tim Carter. I am the Ask the Builder guy, and I'm going to be here next week. And I've got a busy weekend. I hope you have a great weekend. I intend to have a good one. And I'm going to go take those photos for Lorene right now. All right. See you later. I'm Tim Carter, Ask the Builder. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for hitting that like button. I sure appreciate it.